Hi everybody, Mr. Engen here. I'm going to teach you here your next lesson on how to find the area of a trapezoid and a triangle. So I thought I would do this to you the way you're most familiar with, which is me presenting lessons on the smartboard. So you're going to take notes like before, okay? And I wish you were all here in front of me, but unfortunately, we have to put that on hold for now. But I want to do this the way that you're familiar with. So you're going to take notes right now on like normal. Okay, you still have to do that, and I want you to start doing that now. So I'm going to move a little quicker than it would be obviously if you were here, because you will have the ability to pause the video and write things down. So the first thing I went over here is what a trapezoid is by definition. So you want to write that down. And I'll quick read that, and then you want to get down the definition of a triangle, right? So trapezoid is a two-dimensional shape with four straight sides that has one pair of opposite sides parallel. I will have a picture on the next page. The sides that are parallel are called bases. The other sides are called legs. Triangle is a closed two-dimensional shape with three straight sides. A triangle is also called a polygon. Okay, so here you go. Here's a picture of a trapezoid right here, right? You have base 1 and base 2, right? As you can tell, these two sides are parallel, right? The sides will never cross, as you've learned about parallel lines. These two other sides are called the legs. Now, when we find the area of a trapezoid, the legs don't matter, okay? What's gonna matter the most is the base 1 and base 2, and the height. And when you're given the height, it's usually going to be in a dotted line like this. Okay, and here's a picture of a triangle, right? And these things can be turned different ways, right? So the easiest way to identify which one is the base is going to be the side that is perpendicular, right? Perpendicular means it makes a 90-degree angle. The base is the side that's perpendicular with the height, right? And the height will be given to you. So whatever side makes a right angle, right, or makes an L, if that's easier to think, that is going to be your base. And when you find the area of a trapezoid or with a triangle, that is what you need. You need to know the base and the height. Okay? All right, so you're going to want to get this down, right? This is going to be your formula for the area of a trapezoid. It might look kind of confusing, but it's not bad. And I have it written basically three ways. Okay, the first one reads 1/2, and it says it's right next to, so that means multiplication or times, 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2. Now, it doesn't matter which order you add the bases, right? Because addition is commutative, as you've learned, so it doesn't matter. And then you add these two bases together and you multiply it times the height. Okay? Here's another way of thinking of it. Base 1, or add the two bases together. Just add them together, take that number times the height, and then take that number and divide it by 2 last. Okay, and another way to think of it is 0.5, right? Because we all know how to put 0.5 in a calculator. Take 0.5, right, and you multiply that times, okay, but again, it's in parentheses. So this is like an order of operations thing. You have to add the two bases, times it by 5, take that and times it by the height. And this doesn't matter either, right? The order of multiplication. The most important thing to do first is add the two bases together. So you could add the bases together first, then times it by the height, and then times it by 0.5, or you could take add the bases together first, then times it by 5, then times it by the height. It doesn't matter. The order in which you multiply things does not matter, okay? But you need to add the bases together first. Most important thing, yeah? All right, let's do one of these. Okay, so here we have a trapezoid, yeah? And if I look for my parallel sides, okay, my bases, right, I'm gonna do my formula here, 0.5, right, times base plus base times the height, okay? So I basically have to plug in the numbers into that formula, right? So here's my parallel sides. This is my base, 3 feet and 8 feet. Okay, and then my height is here. So even though they tell me these things over here, right, is 5 feet, and this thing over here is 4 feet, those are the legs, and they don't matter, right? So I don't even care about this. So if you want to cross them off, I can cross them off. Doesn't matter, I don't care. And I'm just going to plug my numbers in, right? So I have 8 and 3 for my bases. 8 plus 3, okay? This is times 0.5. A little sloppy here, a little rusty. And then my height is 4. I times that by 4. Okay, so I'm going to add 8 and 3, which is 11. Times that by 4. Times that by 0.5. Okay, sorry if that's a little sloppy. You guys are used to this happening, I'm sure. Okay. Right, and I'm going to do it on my calculator. 11 times 4 times 0.5, I got 22. I'm going to do it twice because I want to make sure I get the right answer, right? I'm going to get 22 again. And because I'm talking about the area, right, it's going to be squared. So this will be 22 feet squared. Okay? So, why don't you try this one? Yeah? Okay, you have your bases. Your height is 5. Just plug them in again. 0.5. And you times it by bases. And my height is 5. 8, 4 is my height. Why don't you see what you get? Okay, and 12 times 5 times 0.5. Do that, and I get I'm going to do it twice again. And $30. Right, so the area of this is 30 feet squared. Okay? Okay. Now moving on, I'm going to find the area of a triangle, okay, which is written right up here. It is 1/2 times the base times the height. Or, okay, you could think of it as base times the height, and then this backslash line means divide. So you could go base times height divided by 2, or you can think of it again, we can use 0.5. Multiplying something by 0.5 is the same as dividing by 2. So you could take 0.5 times the base times the height. Okay? the most important thing I think with finding the area of a triangle is accurately identifying which side is the base. And again, the base is the side that is perpendicular to the height. So if I see my first triangle up here, right, my height is 3. Well, this side is definitely not making an L shape with this, right? It has kind of a goofy angle. A 90-degree angle makes that perfect L, right? So my base is going to be 8 feet, okay? So I'm going to take this and this, right? 0.5 times the base is 8 times 3, and that's all I have to do. 24 times 0.5. You can do that in our head, but you know what? Just to be careful. Let me get 12 feet squared. Okay? Or we could actually also label this 12 square feet. Either way will work. Okay? Either way is going to work. Okay? If you can see, oh, the next one, well, that's interesting. Try the next one and see if you can identify which one is the base, right? I hope you all see what the height is. The height is, again, the dotted line going straight up and down, right? Okay, the height always goes straight up and down. If you did this correct, okay, you would have gotten 0.5 times my base is 12, makes that perfect 90-degree angle with my height, okay, times 12 times 5. Okay, I'm going to put that in my calculator, and when I do that, oops, do it twice, I get 30 feet squared, or 30 square feet. Okay, so that is how you find the area of a trapezoid and a triangle. Okay? You can pause. I have some practice problems for you here. Okay, so you might want to pause the video and get these written down. Right? B stands for base, H stands for height, and I do give you, some of them have legs, okay? And again, that information doesn't necessarily matter, obviously, right? But it's there, okay? So you want to use your formulas to find the area of the triangles, which are numbers 1 through 8, and then 9 through 16 are the trapezoids, and I have them on the next page. So I will put those up, and then you can practice those problems, right? And then I will have the answers as well. So after you see the next page, you want to pause it, you want to write the problems down, practice them, and then check your answers. Okay, there are your trapezoid problems. So you're going to want to pause the video and then write those down. And now I'm going to put up the answers. Okay, and those are all your answers. These are the correct answers, so you can check these after you do the practice, right? This is square feet. They're all labeled that way. If you put feet squared, that's fine as well. So look them over. I hope it went well, and I hope everyone is doing well. And if you have any questions from this practice of area of a triangle and a trapezoid, please email me or let me know or call me during the hours I am at school in my room. So I will be coming to work and still to get things done here. So again, I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll see you soon.